What's going on, everybody? Criddle here, going over some Horde Bash tips and tricks, kind of where to get started, how things work. As always, I stream every single day on Twitch, so if I don't cover every question you may have, please feel free to come over to my Twitch channel, ask me those questions, and I will do my best to answer them. I also do viewer games, giveaways, stuff like that during the stream. But let's go over a couple of the tricks real quick. The first thing you want to do when you first get into Horde Bash is go into your skill tree and come down here to the Horde skill tree. Depending on how far you are into the story, the main storyline, the main story quest, you will already have some points down here. Some tier 1 points, tier 2 points, 3 points, or 4 points, okay? You're going to want to unlock each of these different tiers depending on how high you are. So if you're in Twine Peaks, you'll be able to unlock tier 4. If you're in Canny Valley, tier 3, and so on and so forth, depending on where you are in the story. Um, the points that you're spending, I would recommend going to the top first, at least for the first 2 trees. This would give you a solid amount of materials to use for building up your base. These are all going to be materials for your staging area, for staging area wood, staging area brick, more wood, more metal, and then these two right here are going to expand your base and make it larger both vertically and horizontally so that you have a larger base area, which I'll show you when we load in. These are going to be for building your traps. Same thing over here all the way down. The bottom of the skill tree is for loading getting materials for when each wave. So when you start up an actual Horde challenge, you're going to get a set amount of materials based on this down here. And then each wave, you're going to get additional materials so that you can make your guns, make additional traps, build trap tunnels, those kind of things. So I would start off by grabbing these and making a decent base, which I will show you a good way to do that. Couple tips and tricks that I've learned that a lot of people don't realize. I've even seen some bigger people that are high level that just don't realize exactly how the base should be built. So let's go over that real quick. But that's a quick overview of the Horde tree. How to get these points, I will show you that as well. So to get the skill points, you're going to want to come into here. Every single day you have 10 cooldowns, 10 alert cooldowns for Horde Bash. Just like you do with the normal game. You have 10 alert cooldowns where if I click on this right here, you can see that these are the alert cooldowns. So you get one Horde, tier 1 Horde point for this plus some tickets. The higher level you go, you're going to get higher tier points and more tickets. You're also going to get more of these materials as well, just like you normally do. So you're going to get tier 3 points here. The only place to get tier 4 points, I believe, is here in the 76 plus missions. Everything else is going to be tier 3, tier 2, or tier 1. You can actually, sorry, I apologize for that. Apparently, nope, yes you can. Okay, I was correct. when I hovered over here, it changed to 4. But this is the only place to get tier 4 points, but you have to be in Twine Peaks to be able to unlock this. So let's go ahead and jump into the base. I'm going to show you guys a little bit on the best base building techniques that will work. We'll start out, whether you have no starting materials whatsoever, all the way up. You'll have some base materials. It does not matter what hero you choose here. I'm going to go in as Fragment Flurry Jess, but it does not matter what hero you choose. It's always using the same amount of materials, so you can't go in with a builder and build something different. If they have a cheaper building cost or something like that. So it always uses the same amount. It does not matter what hero you go into. Some people like to go in with a ninja because it's easier to, you can double jump, so you can build stuff a little bit higher without building a bunch of ramps and so on and so forth. So the first thing you want to do is come to your console and withdraw everything. Okay, just withdraw everything. There's no reason to leave anything in here. Just withdraw all of it. This is going to give you your basic materials. As you can see, I have 1,500 wood, 900 brick, and 770 metal. If you are just starting out, you're only going to have about 150 wood, about 100 brick, and about 50 metal. If you're just starting out and you have put 0 points into anything. with that base, there's a couple things I want to point out here. Your base is only going to be, you know, much, much smaller than this large semi-transparent cube that I'm standing in. It's only going to be about a 3 by 3 by 2 high area. That's the only place that you can build in. Now, with that said, you only need to defend from 2 directions. This is where a lot of people get it wrong. See these arrows right here? They designate where the monsters are coming from. So that means monsters will only be coming from this side of your base and this side of your base. Always, 100% of the time. That's where they're going to spawn, is on these 2 sides. So you only need to protect from that corner around, all the way around to this corner. This back side, you don't need to put a lot of traps on. You don't need to have traps way out here, because monsters should never, ever, ever be here. Now, they might end up over here if you have other players in your party standing over here, or if you completely leave this wide open and they can just walk around and come into your base, they might walk over there. But I'm going to show you some techniques of how to prevent that. So first, let's do a very basic. Oops. This will reset if you walk out. If you walk out of the base after grabbing the stuff, so you might have to come back over here and withdraw again. It does do that every once in a while. So, but let's go ahead and I'm going to build. This is a very basic base that anybody can build with your materials. Okay, even if you're level 1 and you've never done a Horde bash before and you have 0 Horde points, so you could do this right here. Switch to some brick, like so. Okay, and then we should be able to still do, we should have enough for some walls as well around here. If you have to, you can, oops, that's fine. You can put some brick, or sorry, some wood on this back side here. It doesn't matter that much. You just want to have a layer for the monsters or the husk to go through. Now, what I'm going to do, actually, if you mess up on anything, you can always destroy it. One swing destroys it, and you get your materials back because you have a set amount of materials. You want to leave these 2 sides where the arrows are at open. Make your trap tunnels there. This is very, very important to make your trap tunnels here, okay? So if you keep doing exactly the order that I'm doing, you know, you probably will run out of materials about now, if not before. If this is the first time you're building a base, you'll probably already be out of materials, okay? But this is a very basic base that will work. You can also come here, you know, put up some little walls here just to prevent them from throwing, you know, something into your base. You should have enough materials to do this. Very basic. You don't need a lot of materials for this. You don't even need to upgrade it yet at the low levels, okay? If you're still doing tier 1, you don't need to upgrade it. At this point, you have the basic foundations of the base, okay? This is the very basic foundations, and this is where you want to start. Once you have this basic build, you can start adding in more features and more things, but this right here is pretty much where you want to start, tier 1. Okay, if you can at this point, start leveling up. You know, start leveling up if you have extra materials. I'm going to take everything up to tier 2, except for these inner walls. I'm going to take these inner walls all the way to tier 3 just to make them a little bit stronger. Okay, very, very simple base. You don't want to open up the back here. I've seen a lot of people, for whatever reason, they open up these areas right here, and they'll build trap tunnels coming out this way. They'll put traps right here. Don't do any of that. The reason for that is because, like I said before, you're never going to have monsters or husk go back there. Okay, you're never going to have them go back there. So this right here is going to be your basic base. I've already run out of brick. I will probably go back, since I've already run out of brick and I want to have brick as my outer wall. I'll probably go back, you know, and change these right here to metal. You're going to want to mix and match stuff as much as you can, because you only have a set amount of resources. Okay, I've got most of the stuff unlocked except for the tier 4 resources, and it's still hard to make a huge solid base. So I'm going to change this to metal. You may not be able to do this yet, but this is going to be your basic base that you want to do. Okay. I'm going to make all of this front side here tier 2, as much of this as I possibly can. And that should be good. So all of the front side, all of the side that is going to be hit. I made that tier 3 on accident. And then I'm going to go ahead and make some of this tier 2 as well. Okay, we're going to make everything, pretty much all of the brick I'm going to make tier 2. All of the metal on the inside here, we're making tier 3. You want this inside to be all tier 3. And then this one right here, tier 2. All right. So now this is, this is the basic base. It's going to be set up. This is where I want you guys to go. Upgrade, tier 3 on these inner walls here. And then tier 2 on these walls, all the brick walls out here. And then when you come out here, this is another trick that I have learned. Go ahead and put in a layer of wood all the way around this backside. And I did tell you guys that nothing should ever come back here. This is why nothing will ever come back here, okay? It's very important that you put an extra layer back here. Because what's going to happen is, like I said, the monsters are going to spawn. The husk will spawn from these arrow points. They might spawn way over here from these arrow points. They could spawn here. Where's the monster going to walk? Well, if you have an open base over here, this is going to be the fastest route. So they're going to come straight over here, start beating on these walls, go right into your base. But if you have 1, 2, plus another layer on the inside, you have 3 layers that they have to go through. They're going to go over here, okay? They're going to come over here, and they're going to try to walk in here because this is only 1 layer deep. So anything that spawns will try to come from this direction over here. It's going to walk already. Even if it spawns right here, it's going to walk in this direction. Husk will move no more than 2 tiles to the left or the right, depending on what the obstacle is. If they have to move more than 2 tiles, they will start to hit walls, and they will actually take down your walls. So you never want to build too much to prevent them from coming in. You actually do want to invite them right into your base. And in this case, they're going to be invited into this tunnel or this tunnel over here. Inside of these tunnels, you can trap as much as you want. It doesn't really matter what you put down. Just put down some sort of traps. I personally have gas traps that I like to put down. Again, my stuff resets. So let me go grab my materials again from walking outside of the base building area. Let's grab that. I put down trap or gas traps inside of my trap tunnels. It helps quite a bit. So let's go ahead and put down some gas traps. We're going to make 2 of my high level gas traps. These are really, really good gas traps. You won't be able to make the 106s yet, most likely, unless you are in late, Twine Peaks area. And then I'm going to make also one of my lower level gas traps here. Make a couple of these wall. And then there we go. All right. So this is basically what I like to make. And we're going to put in one of my good gas traps here, the highest level ones. You can only make a certain amount based on, like I said before, the points that you've put in, the skill points that you have put in. We're going to put the lower level gas trap here. We're going to put these to snare the monsters, okay, so that they stay under the gas trap longer. We're going to put a floor launcher there, just if they do get to the base. These are the only 2 locations they should ever come to. Put some of these down here like this. And then we're going to put an extra one right here, an extra floor launcher, just to have a little extra stunning right there. So this is the basic base that I built. Build this as you can. You don't have to upgrade everything if you don't have the materials to do it. As you can see, I'm only doing tier 2, except for the tier 3 walls on the outside here, and then tier 3 walls on the inside. Another very important thing, make sure you put at least a single layer right here on top of your base before you do any of the other stuff that I just mentioned. This is very, very important. If you get a wave of lobbers, they will destroy your base very quickly. I'm going to go ahead and put some wood down here just so that you can stand on top of the base. And then on top of that, we're going to put additional layer of wood here like so. And we're going to go ahead and upgrade all of the wood because I have additional wood. So I can go ahead and make these tier 3. So this is, what I would recommend you guys do. You don't need to double layer these corner pieces, but definitely this is the first piece you should double layer. If the lobbers start throwing stuff, they break through the first layer. You have a second layer to prevent the lobbers from damaging. And it really, really, really does help out if you can do that. So make sure you guys are doing that. The last thing I'm going to say is we're going to put in a defender post right here because you always, always, always should be using defenders. I personally use the sniper defender with a neon sniper rifle, and I put them right here. So I can actually box this in because the neon sniper rifle does shoot through walls. And I put some doors here so it's easy access to get in and out if I need to, give them ammo or something like that. So that's personally what I do. It doesn't matter if that's what you want to do or not. Whoops, I'm hitting the wrong key trying to upgrade here. I keep hitting the G key. I was wondering why I was going crazy there. So that's what I put in here is the sniper rifle defender, and give them the neon sniper rifle so they shoot through the walls. So that's going to be your basic base. Very, very simple. If you make this base, you will be able to survive. In addition, you're going to have to still make trap tunnels and stuff out in these directions. Of course, it's not going to look like this. It's going to be in the base. But when your base actually loads in, it will always orient itself based on the arrows right here. Always, every single time. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. I have heard some people that have told me that that's not true. It is true. I promise you that it is true. Anyway, this video has gone on a little bit longer than I wanted it to. So please, if you have any questions, like I said, come to my twitch.tv/crittlecraddle and ask me those questions. I do stream every single day. Typically from 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until whenever I feel like ending. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. I appreciate you guys watching, and I hope to see you soon.